Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, Bobby, if you could call the roll.
Commissioner Joe LaRue.
Here.
Chair Butch Schleier.
Present.
Commissioner Neil Younger.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay. No changes to the order of business tonight, and there are no executive sessions. Okay, prior minutes, commissioners, have a chance to review the prior minutes? Okay, any issues? The minutes will stand as submitted. The consent agenda, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Also move.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Issues from persons not on the order of business. Justin?
Good evening, Commissioners. Justin Craig, Interim Environmental Services Director. I'm just here to give you a little update on the fire we had out at the landfill here last Thursday. It was contained in the C&D pit. I guess, first of all, I want to thank a few people, if I may. Rural Fire Department for coming out and helping us out. Hess Services and Dan Hess for sending equipment and men over to help us with our dirt work. Kurt and Brennan from Road and Bridge and their guys that came and helped out really helped us out a lot. And the Ellis County Sheriff Department, so I just want to thank all them first. As far as cause, we don't really know. We don't know if it was a machine that sparked it. We don't know if, if something hot got dumped or something spontaneously combustible. We don't know. Like I said, it was contained in the C&D. As far as putting it out, our original idea was to try to dig a trench and cap it off and then let it just kind of burn itself out, but we weren't making any progress because it's about 35 to 40 feet deep of compacted material. So we ended up just pushing dirt over the top with the machines and putting another 1.5 or 2 feet of dirt on top to cap it. So that's where it stands right now. We're just going to leave it open for now. I did check it for hot spots today with our heat gun. Didn't find anything. We're just going to keep it open and keep monitoring it. So.
Okay, sounds like a good plan.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Justin. Okay, Commissioners' monthly department report. You get a chance to review your reports?
Yes, everything looked good.
Okay, yeah, it's a very good report. Okay, we have the Hayes Senior Center update. Guy and Ray.
Good evening, Commissioners. Do I state my name again? Okay, Guy Winholz, Hayes Senior Center, current president. History of the Hayes Senior Center and a mission statement, as outlined by the first directors, Alice F. Beasley, Joe B. Broomgard, Mrs. Laura Stroop Egan, and Dr. Calvin E. Harbin and Mr. Fred Richmeyer incorporated the Senior Center as a nonprofit on November 19, 1974. Our mission is to operate a multi-purpose, not-for-profit community senior center where elderly persons are provided with charitable, educational, civic, philanthropic uses and services and activities for enriching their lives. Commissioner, I wish to thank the Board of County Commissioners for having us here today to update you on the status and activities at the Senior Center. Wish to recognize our board members being here, and if they would stand for you to recognize them. Billy McCall, our Vice President. There's Jane Dofeich, Secretary. Scott Brown is our Treasurer, plus Jennifer O'Borney, Ray Lumpkin, and Norman Owings. And with us is our new Senior Center Director, Ray Makings, and he'll have some comments here. We are an agency member of the United Way of Ellis County, and our primary funding comes from Ellis County Commission and secondary funding from the City of Hayes. It is our pleasure to be working in close association with the Northwest Kansas Area Agency on Aging. We stand ready to be of service to all of Ellis County, and we are welcoming to have patrons that come from the communities of Hayes, Ellis, Victoria, and Shinchin, and the 3 commission districts that you gentlemen represent. Our long-range goal is to one day be a part of a community center that would allow us to be transformed into a multi-generational facility. We thank the Grow Hayes efforts under the leadership of Doug Williams, who has been very supportive to us, as are the county commissioners and the City of Hayes commissioners. The first board members in 1974 mentioned above are our inspiration and continue to serve the seniors of Ellis County and be the best that we can be. We are pleased to introduce our new Senior Center Director, Ray Makings, who is, in a short amount of time, has been in the position, has already contributed new healthy ideas and always ask, can I do more? Ray, would you come up? I'm sorry. Yeah, Ray. We'll field any questions you have after that. Ray, I'll just go ahead and present what you have.
Good afternoon. I'm sure I'm new to all of you, but I've lived in the Hayes area for 21 years and in the surrounding communities since 1983. I come to this post through working with the Agency on Aging. I was delivering meals for them, and then I was asked to perform the duties of the janitor at the Hayes Senior Center, and I continued to do those duties as well as assuming the role of the director. And our mission continues to be bringing safe and enjoyable activities and fellowship to seniors in the Hayes area. To that end, we now offer a pleasant environment for various activities. We have daily pinochle, pool table is available. We have dominoes, chicken foot, weekly. We're introducing Wii bowling to try to get people up out of their chairs. We also have music now via YouTube daily, and it's very popular. We have Wi-Fi available now. iPad was supplied by the Northwest Kansas Area Agency on Aging. We have daily puzzle handouts, word search and object search. We have tons of jigsaw puzzles. Nobody seems to be really interested at that at the moment. Seasonal and holiday decorations, bingo twice monthly with prizes, which is now self-funded. In addition, we host the Hayes Bridge Club every Monday. Upcoming events, the Center for Life Experience is hosting a Healing Kids Retreat this Friday, March 25th, and Saturday, March 26th. The Northwest Kansas Area Agency on Aging is going to have an information day, May 7th, at our facility. We also are going to have a Blue Cross and Blue Shield representative monthly to give out information about their services. We also host a blood pressure monitoring monthly by Angel Care and Ellis County Health Department. Future events, we hope to host a Veterans Day recognition with Honors Guard on a day in November near the traditional day, not to compete with other events. Now we are on Facebook as Hayes Senior Center, thanks to Treetop Securities. Presently, we're posting a Senior of the Month with picture on the Facebook site. Our website is under construction. It's hayesseniorcenter.org. And our goals for the future include increased patron participation, reaching more aging seniors with regular activities and informational learning opportunities, bringing more diversity to our center, and reaching out to new seniors as they reach 60 years of age. Thanks to Ellis County's continued support, we will be here for our seniors in Hayes in our community. Sincerely, Ray Makings. Do you have any questions?
Ray, how many, patrons do you get daily to the senior center?
Well, it's been like a roller coaster, sir. Ever since the COVID hit, which happened long before I assumed duties, we were down to about a dozen to 15 a day when I started. We've been fortunate enough to have up to 30, depending on our menu and depending on what activities we have on the particular day. So it varies, usually from 20 to 30 right now.
That's pretty good turnout.
Well, I hope to do better, but, it's hard to get people to stick around. They love to come for the meals that the agency provides, obviously, but to entice them to hang around, I try to introduce new activities almost weekly. Some they're interested in and some not so much. So I'm hoping to do better with that. But, yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're doing now.
Sure. Commissioners, questions?
No, it just sounds like you guys are doing a lot to serve the patron, so we appreciate what you and Guy are doing.
Yeah, I know my heart's in the right place, but I'm learning. So hopefully next year we'll have an increase in attendance. So, but nice to meet you all. And if you have meetings whenever it rains, I'd like to come to a couple more of these,
Thank you, Ray.
I was going to say, Ray, thank you, and Mr. Winholz for doing that and bringing all the support here, and thanks for stepping up and doing that.
Okay, the Northwest Kansas Area Agency on Aging and Ellis Nutrition Center. Michelle.
Do you want to do yours speaking first?
No, I can go. I'm walking better than I did 4 weeks ago.
You're doing fine, Leonard.
My name is Benedict Leonard Schoenberger. I go by Leonard. I am the current president of the Ellis Nutrition Center in Ellis, Kansas. Today with me is Linda Pfeiffer, our treasurer, and Sheila Fisher is our secretary and manager of the Nutrition Center. Linda is here with us tonight, and we have gone from a board of about 6 people down to 3. We have been in business for probably over 35 years in Ellis, Kansas, under the Ellis Nutrition Center. We meet at where the Bocavenia has their deal. AARP used to meet there, and we also have a couple of other organizations that used to meet there as well. We found that when we did our budget the last time, about 2018 is when we started seeing a decrease in our budget, and we had to cut back hours on our employees, and willingly so they did at that time. Thank goodness, and we've been able to manage with the budget that we've had. We've had to do without a lot of things that normally we had hoped to do more of. But just like every organization that deals with people, the COVID really hit Ellis hard. We had, both cooks had COVID at the same time, and our delivery driver, or our driver for our gal that takes the meals into the home, up to the homes, we left them at the door. She even got COVID, so we had to shut down for a couple of weeks until they could all get well, or at least 10 days, 12 days. We were fortunate enough to, Northwest Area Kansas came by, and Christian helped us set up with one of the local restaurants to have vouchers that was granted through the program to have one meal, the special, each day. Not all the specials were favorable for our senior citizens, but we managed to get through that 2 weeks. And we are down to one cook that cooks on Monday and Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have a assistant manager that is doing the books now. We had a turnover in employees, But she is not going to be doing cleaning, just the final bookworks each month and daily ones at that as well. But we are in need of finding people that want to work. I don't think in my lifetime in Ellis, Kansas, I ever saw wanted ads in about every store we had in Ellis. It was terrible, just like it is in Hayes and all across the country. We have, they've cut their hours by 2 hours a day, and I know we need to give them back those hours to help with their bills as well. We've appreciated and have learned to live on what we've been getting and work with it. We deliver anywhere from 15 to 20 meals a day in Ellis, Meals on Wheels. And we have probably anywhere from 7 to 10 that will pick up a meal at the door. We have not had inside meals. We tried it, and that's when we lost everybody to COVID. We tried it just for once, and we only had 2 people that were interested. Well, 2 people interested doesn't, only ones that want to come down. It's kind of hard for them to visit and have the programs that we had. We're getting a lot of programs that from Angel Care and from colleges that we send home for people to do. We have the backs of the puzzle sheet of the menu that folks still do at home. We just don't have anybody coming down anymore. But one of the things that we have a manager and assistant manager that their hours were cut by 1 and 1.5 hours. Now, some of that's due to lower price, but before COVID, we were doing about 45 to 50 meals a day, and we're about half. We'll do the 20 to 35 at the most. And we're not struggling, but people just don't want to come down to eat now that they've gotten the habit of picking up their meal. And as long as they can do that, we will provide that information as well. We need somebody to clean because the assistant manager said she can't clean. Some of our people are elderly as well. And really, I'd like to see a little bit of raise for our employees. Their bills have all gone up, as you well know. Gas especially, we kind of hit that and raised that a little bit more for our driver that delivers meals. We have a volunteer who's in her 60s that takes the meals up. She doesn't get any salary because she's on a handicap program. Our furnace and air conditioning is the main thing in our building. We don't pay rent to the building for our meetings, but we're responsible for the furnace and air conditioning and for certain items that we take care of and Northwest area Kansas doesn't. So I thank you for your time. It's a special program and we want to see it continue. I appreciate the help that you give us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Leonard, I encourage you to hang in there. I hate to see it going so hard for you guys. You know, and if you're needing budgeted funds again, make sure you reflect that as we start looking at our 23 budgets, which is going to be just shortly.
Right.
And perhaps we can get you some more money too.
Fantastic. Appreciate it.
So,
Any other questions?
Nope.
Sir.
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
thank you, Leonard.
You bet. Is it all right if we leave?
Sure. It's okay if you leave.
There's going to be too much rain. I don't want to get too wet.
Maybe you should stay.
Michelle, did you have anything to say?
For me?
Sure, come on
I
up.
have a lot to say. You may not
Okay.
want to hear it all, but Well, good evening. I agree. It's nice to come if that means that we get some rain in Ellis County, so that's always a good thing. I'm Michelle Morgan. I'm the Executive Director for the Northwest Kansas Area Agency on Aging. I do thank you very much for taking time out of your agenda to visit with us and just kind of get a little bit of an update on what the Area Agency on Aging has been providing for seniors in Ellis County specifically. For those of you who aren't familiar with our agency, we are part of a national network of agencies created in 1973 by the Older Americans Act. We are a private, nonprofit organization with the responsibility of administering Older Americans Act programs in the 18 counties of Northwest Kansas. Designated as the local single point of entry, our agency serves as the unbiased, trusted source for older Americans and their caregivers. Whether it is information on available options, in-home services, nutrition services, or insurance counseling, a senior only needs to call the local area agency on aging to connect them with resources needed to help them remain independent in their own homes and in the community. Additionally, as a grassroots organization, advocacy for older adults serves as a high priority of the Area Agency on Aging. To maximize the impact of service dollars for older adults, local county match dollars are required for area agencies on aging to draw down federal dollars and in some instances also state dollars. The in-home programs you help fund are critical to the health and independence of older adults and caregivers living in Ellis County. The types of services that our agency funds include information and assistance, outreach, options counseling, respite, health insurance counseling, help in identifying caregivers, Medicaid application assistance, meals, congregate and home delivered, educational presentations, personal care such as bathing assistance, health and wellness, Medicare Part D assistance. We also serve as an aging and disability resource center. We have the Older Kansans Employment Program for the area, lifelines, laundry, housekeeping, shopping, case management, legal assistance, custom care items, and Medicaid assessments. So it's a lot of different things. On the back of the page specifically lists information and data for Ellis County. So for instance, this last year, and this is for the federal fiscal year 21, which for us is October 1 of 20 through 9/30 of 21. So I hate to point it out because I'm tired of COVID myself, but 12 months of COVID time. But we did have 6,788 contacts just from Ellis County for people who had questions, needed assistance. They may have stopped in our office, sent us a text message or an email. We have an annual newsletter that went out to over 3,000 people in Ellis County. For health fairs and presentations, with all the COVID restrictions, there were only 5 last year. And we estimate that we reached 740 people through those 5 presentations. Medicare counseling is something we do all year because people are retiring all year. So when people sign up for Social Security, the Social Security office often refers people to our office to do Medicare counseling to help people choose what type of supplements they might need, and also to look at drug plans based on the specific drugs that they are taking and help them with enrollment in those. So the number of Medicare beneficiaries that we counseled during that time period was 772, and we helped 746 of those people enroll. When it comes to in-home services, our Older Americans Act programs, those are our federal programs. And for in-home services 3B, this is a program that really is more for our most frail and high-risk individuals, and it's a donation program. So in Ellis County, there were 3 people on that program. We provided 242 hours of homemaker or attendant care and 49 units of case management. Part of the Older Americans Act also requires that we provide legal services to seniors also. So we contract with Kansas Legal Services to provide that assistance. So this last year, they had 11 different people that they helped and 119 case hours. Most of the time, it's a lot of things like power of attorneys, division of assets, living wills, those type of things. I don't know if any of you remember when Dave Belling was around in this area, but he always joked when he'd tell people, I can help you with almost anything, but I can't help you get out of a speeding ticket. So that is the legal services. Our Caregiver Program, which is an Older Americans Act Title IIIe program, we work primarily with Senior Companion here in Hayes to provide the respite care and the companionship under that program. During this time, they were not allowed to do a whole lot of home visits for a while, and they have gotten back to doing that. So we also did telephoning during that time and doing some checks and some companionship to make sure that people were okay. So we had 7 people during that time, and 374 hours of homemaker and attendant care, 388 units of respite, and we also were able to provide over $1,200 in flex services for this group of people. So what that means with the taxonomy is that we were able to purchase items such as nutritional supplements, incontinence supplies, groceries, those type of items for the caregiver program. And then when we go down to the meal site and home-delivered meals, that is considered Older Americans Act Title III, C1 and C2. C1 are the congregate meals, and C2 are the home-delivered meals. So in Ellis County, we work with the Victoria Senior Center, the Ellis Senior Center, and then also the Hayes Senior Center, to where we provide a meal service for them. And we have 301 unduplicated people at those sites. And last year, we served 28,521 USDA eligible meals. But if you actually add in the other meals that we served to people who were physically disabled that maybe had to pay full price through their Medicaid programs, it came to 31,000 meals that were served to the aging community and people with physical disabilities. The Senior Care Act program, that is a state-based program. It's on a sliding fee scale. So that means that people pay for their service according to their income and assets. So they may be at a donation level up to 100% of the cost of the program. So we had 72 people in Ellis County on that program, 2,516 units of assessment and case management units, 5,247.5 hours of homemaker and attendant care. And the providers that we have that provide these in-home services, the main ones are Schoenberger Nursing Agency, Guardian Home Health, Skill, and Link also provide some of these services. And so we had paid them over $80,812. So it's good that a lot of this money is staying local too. We had 24 hours of respite care, 150 Lifeline units, and a couple of new installs last year. And then we're also able to do some one-time costs for people, to kind of help them get through a little bit of crisis. It seemed like last year we had more plumbing issues to where people maybe didn't have hot water or they had leaks that they couldn't afford to fix, so we were able to help with that. We did help with some dental work, incontinence supplies, lift chairs, some vision aids, and some other assistive technology. The next program is the CARE program. This is actually a federal requirement for anybody in the state of Kansas that is entering a Medicaid licensed and certified nursing facility. Everyone has to have proof of PASSAR, whether they are private pay or Medicaid. So we completed 188 of those CARE assessments for people who were wanting to enter the nursing facility in this county. for the Benefit Enrollment Center, this is actually funding that we receive from the National Council on Aging. And with this program, we help people with a lot of LEAP applications, SNAP, Medicaid applications, Medicare savings programs. We also have someone who helps people with the marketplace with ACA if they're looking for insurance that way. So we had 77 people that we helped with that program. And then the other part of what we do for the Aging and Disability Resource Center is that our agency determines Medicaid functional eligibility for people on home and community-based programs for the frail elderly waiver, the physically disabled waiver, and also the brain injury waiver. And so there was 154 of those assessments last year, too. When it comes to options counseling sessions, really what that is that we quite often get phone calls from people that end up being extremely in-depth because they call and they say, we just don't know what we need. We don't know what's available. This is kind of what our goal is. We want to stay home or we want to move or whatever it might be. And so those are kind of what they call information and assistance on steroids, is what they can call it. And then for administrative case management, that is also, it's a contract that we have with the state, and what we do with that is we help people with a lot of crisis exceptions to where if they're on the waiting list for the physically disabled waiver, we're able to get together and help them with the documentation and work with their doctors to get them crisis exceptions and also help with Medicaid applications. So just a general estimate value to the county, we request generally $15,000 for local match to draw down our funds, and we estimate that about $917,000 comes back to Ellis County, or comes back down here in services. So do you have any questions for me? I know that's a lot of information.
Well, Michelle, I know I had my father on the senior care services, under the Senior Care Act, for some homemaker services. It was very, very helpful. And I believe when we started that service, which was some years ago, there was a waiting list. Is there any waiting list now associated with any of these in-home programs?
No, we were actually very fortunate that about 5 or 6 years ago, when the state did cut a huge chunk of money for Senior Care Act services, they quickly found out that it really wasn't a good choice, because then there were a lot more people who did not have options in the community, and so they were going into nursing homes instead, which was obviously a lot more costly. And the other thing is that, back when you worked at the health department, we usually get most of our referrals from critical access points, like the health departments, the hospitals, the doctor's office, caregivers. We don't do a whole lot of advertising, because when a hospital or a health department calls us and they say, Mrs. Jones just needs a little bit of help. She just needs someone to come in once a week to help with her bathing, make sure she's got groceries, shopping, making sure that we're getting meals delivered to her. And there's nothing worse than when you have to say, I'm sorry, we can't. But the good news is, no, we do not have any waiting lists right now.
Okay, that's good. Commissioners, any questions?
No,
Mr.
just
Jones?
thank you for all you do. That was a lot of information. Thank you.
It's probably more than you wanted to know.
I'd like to know what you do in your spare time.
You know what? Actually, I have a 14-year-old daughter, so we play a lot of basketball and track, and we're always busy and on the go, so it's fun.
I don't know what my fellow commissioners think, but I would have sure liked to had you come in a few months ago earlier to present us, to keep us kind of informed what was going on. But if you can put that in the back of your mind, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, just let us know when you'd like us to come, when you have time. I know
Anytime.
you're busy.
Okay,
Thank
Okay,
you for what you
thank
do.
you.
thank you, Michelle. Okay, our next agenda item is some court recording equipment. Mike?
Hello, I'm Mike Smith, District Court Administrator feel like this is kind of becoming a thing. I've been in this job for 2 months, and this is my second time coming and asking you guys for something. So I hope I don't make this a regular thing, but we do have some things that we really need. So the first thing, and I have this broke down in 2 different sections. The first part of this is court recording equipment. Our recording equipment that we have now is outdated. We need updated software. We need updated equipment to run the software. And it's an expensive purchase. It's something that has to come out of our budget, or in this case, we're asking for ARPA funds to help pay for this. As you can see, it came out to 20,000, where'd that go? Where'd my number go? $20,565.52. That's for 4 different courtrooms to add recording equipment. And the reason we need that, I don't know if you guys are aware, but every hearing that we have by a district judge, several by magistrate judges, need to be recorded to preserve a record for those hearings. Every prelim is recorded. Every plea hearing done by magistrates and district judges are recorded. Currently, we have a capability of using 3 courtrooms for that. We've added a 4th one for this to give us extra courtroom to use. So the purchase that we have here gives us the capability of recording. It's an updated program that will actually give us the ability to record like hybrid hearings where Zoom hearings are done, in-person people are there. It also gives us a transcription software that's a piece of this that helps our court reporter, Linnell Gottschalk. So it's a much-needed program, or much-needed equipment that we really need to have on all of our courtrooms. So that is the first part of that. Like I said, it came out to $20,560. I lost it again. $565, and we budgeted when I put this request in for ARPA funds. I don't know where the number came from, but we had requested $40,000. That's what we thought it was going to take to cover this. The estimate came in way under that, so I'm asking also for a maintenance agreement, an additional year of maintenance agreement. That came out to $4,530 for a total purchase of $25,095.52. So we had talked about this. I talked to Darren about it, and we thought maybe we were going to have to do an RFP for this, but the state actually has a contract with SHI, which is the company that is going to be, that we have the estimate from to put this purchase in, or to install this. They actually work through Voice Products, but it's SHI is the main company. So I think you guys have a copy of the contract, the statewide contract, in your packet. That is the first portion of this that I'm asking for a motion to approve those ARPA funds for. The second part of this, since we had come in so far under budget, it actually gave me an opportunity to solve another problem that we had, which is really outdated computer equipment. We had gone through and had Mike do an audit of our computer equipment. We found a lot of it is outdated, needs upgraded. A lot of it we were running is a 2007 operating, or Windows 2007, which is not going to be capable of running our new Odyssey system that is coming. We're supposed to be online in July with that, is the scheduled go live date for that. Currently, we have several computers that are not capable of running that. So this is an opportunity for us to get all of our computers. I think this will get all our computer needs up to date, get everything that we need up and running so that we can essentially run the equipment that's coming that we're going to be forced to use. So the purchase for, I asked for 6 PCs for a total of $5,061. Initially, in your packet that you have, I requested 2 laptops, and Friday it came to my attention that we actually need 4. I'm actually going to ask you today for 4 for a total of $4,800 for the laptops. That is an estimate. We did not have the full proposal yet. I talked to Mike Leiker, and the estimate is about $1,200 a piece, so for a total of $4,800. So this request is actually going to come out to $9,861 for this motion to approve the computer equipment that we need, the new computers. there's also a contract in your packet for that is through Dell, I believe. So with that, that should get us up and running. It still comes under the budget of what we had requested of $40,000. It comes out to, I believe, $34,956.52, over $5,000 under our budget. So I'm hoping that you guys will approve those so that we can get the much needed equipment that we need. Eventually, that would have to come out of our budget. We're asking for it to come out of ARPA funds so that it doesn't hurt our budget near as bad in the long run.
Is your budget running pretty flush this year?
We're okay.
You're okay?
I mean, it's early, and this is my first year running it, so I'm learning, and we've been pretty conservative with everything, so we have not spent,
So
bought a lot of things.
using the ARPA funds for the PCs just saves budget dollars. Is that correct?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it will save us from taking, and I wouldn't be able to do all of it at once. Right now, since I've taken over as the court administrator, this has been the number one thing. I've visited with Mike on multiple occasions on how we were going to get this up to where it needed to be. And because we didn't have the money budgeted for enough of this. So we would have to piece this together. And the recording equipment also, that's something that we would have to do in pieces through our budget to get this up to where it needed to be.
If,
But with ARPA funds and the way that we're looking at, this was a chance to get everything taken care of and get us right where we needed to be.
So if this is approved, will those PCs come in enough time to get that installed by July when the new software management system goes online?
Well, I'm not sure about the laptops when they would ship, but Mike, we have it in there as May 18th, I think is the ship date. It's going to be close. We're looking at, right now we're looking at using some of the laptops that we do have to get the training under control and make sure that everybody has access to get the training that we need. Because the training's been ongoing for a couple of months now. But it's a struggle to do that without everybody having the equipment, so.
Sure.
This would help. I think we can get it online well before July, I hope, if we can get it all put together, so.
Okay. Commissioner Joe, do you have any questions?
No, just, I think the extra equipment and still coming 5,000 under the original request is pretty darn good.
Sure. Commissioner Neal?
How old is our other existing equipment?
The recording equipment or the PCs?
Everything.
Well, we have some PCs that are really old. Some of our bench computers are 11 years old that are way out of date. We range anywhere from 6 years old, which is, considerable amount of age, on up to the 11 years old. We have a few that are updated that are where they need to be, not near enough. That's why I'm asking for what I'm asking for here, which is, a sizable amount of computers to get us going.
So-
Our recording equipment, I can't answer you. I don't know exactly when that stuff was installed, but it's been several years ago.
Pretty old as well.
Yeah, it's old.
It's due then. So in the future, are we going to set another, not like a maintenance, but what do I want to say, a thing that you can replace it every so many years?
Yeah,
With the company, or?
That is part of this maintenance agreement that I'm requesting to be added on. This is actually an additional year because the installation, and all that comes with 1 year. This is an additional year of maintenance agreement. And with that, it actually will replace and keep it up to date as we go.
Okay.
That had not been paid for several years, and I'm guessing that it's just because it was so expensive that it was really hard to maintain paying that for older equipment. It ended up that we need to continue to pay that to maintain everything. This includes PCs for each bench that they will maintain. Anything that goes wrong with those, they will update it and complete any repairs that need to be made, replace if necessary. So along with the recording equipment itself, the maintenance agreement should keep that where it needs to be.
Okay, that's what I was after, replacement to
Yeah.
keep us up to speed on everything.
Yes.
Okay, Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners. I'm going to try to put this into one motion instead of two. So I move to approve the purchase of 2 new and updated recording equipment from SHI and a 2-year maintenance agreement from Voice Products in the amount of $25,095.52 using ARPA funds, along with the purchase of 6 PCs and 4 laptops for a total cost of $9,861. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, the next agenda item is a grader purchase. Brendan?
Good evening, Commissioners. Brendan McKay, Ellis County Public Works Director. So before you deny it is a request for purchasing 2 new machines. We have current 2 aging machines that are in need of pretty costly repairs that if we make the repairs, we won't get the value out of the machine based on trade-in value. So we'd like to trade them in for 2 new units. We've reached out to Caterpillar, who's been member of Sourcewell. We've purchased many of our equipment through them. They've got a great warranty and repair and resale value. They actually have 2 units on the ground right now. So it's not like in the past when we ask for something, we see it in a year. They're on the ground with our name on them if the commission decides to purchase them. If we decide not to purchase them tonight, if you all decide not to purchase them, there's already a $20,000 price increase from this model to one that ordering tomorrow. And since it probably wouldn't be here until after the first of the year, there'll in all likelihood be another additional price increase on that. So if you all decide not to go with these 2 units, we're looking at close to $40,000 per unit increase in price if we purchase tomorrow, and then we won't see them for a year, 9 months or so. But with that said, a lot of our equipment we've been purchasing on the lease buyout deal. So what we would like to do is do the 7-year lease on this. It's at 4.59% interest rate. The reason we'd like to do that is it helps us keep equipment in that 7-year window for its warranty. So we're not letting equipment get out of warranty and we're incurring these costly repairs. The other reason is with that enterprise system, K-Camp and Enterprise still haven't come to a solution for our oversized equipment, like our sign truck and shop truck. And if they don't come to terms with that, we'll have to purchase those all outright in cash. And this would deplete a good portion of our equipment reserve that we're trying to avoid with this lease purchase deal.
I believe we have been making some of these purchases on that lease, 7-year lease.
The graders we have been.
The graders we have been, I think I'm aware of that. And let's see, one of the graders has 12,500 hours, the other has 14,500. How old are those graders, Brendan?
So the one is a 2006 and the other one is a 2010. So
Okay.
12 years old and 16 years old.
Is that about the standard amount of hours graders that old would have?
Little high.
Little high.
That's with an 8-year or 7-year, they give us an 8,500 hour warranty. That's right about what we expect to hit at that 7-year point. So the one unit is an auxiliary unit. It's used when we're doing projects or when we have another piece of equipment down for repairs. Right now, our auxiliary units are both in service, and we are actually down one grader with waiting on repairs right now. So if we replace these, that one auxiliary unit would go away. It would get shuffled up into the fleet, and someone's older machine that we've had the engine rework built on will become an auxiliary unit. So not something we utilize every single day, but that's utilized enough to justify us keeping it around for our special projects. And for like this weekend, I had all my employees out and I had called out some of the heavy equipment operators, not the rural patrolmen, to help out because we finally had moisture and we need to work on our roadways.
Okay. And if the graders aren't replaced, then you're going to
We'll have to spend quite a considerable amount of money to keep these two machines running.
So you need the machines?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one way or the other, you need the machines.
Yep.
Okay. Joe, any questions?
No, it sounds like it's an inevitable purchase, and the longer we wait, the more costly it'll be, and the less trade-in value we'd get on our existing units, so.
And we'd have to wait a considerable amount of time before the units are even available, because it's normally 2-3 months before you can get a build slot, and then up to another 6 months or later for it to be actually built and delivered to a nearby dealer to be sent to us. So we either buy these and get them here in very short order, or wait and pay a bit more and get them a year from now after we paid on it, like we did with other big equipment we've purchased recently.
Commissioner Neal, questions?
I just, a comment, I like the Premier travel warranty where they'll come here and we had
Yes, sir.
issues with them.
So that's what they do with the John Deere units we have. We still have another John Deere unit besides these two. Their warranty, they pay for parts, we pay for travel. So we pay every time they have to come out for an issue, we have to pay them for that, and that's their top warranty package, going through all the research I've been able to go through. With the Foley package, the Premier, if it's a warranty issue, they come up at their cost, they do the repair, and they're there timely. We had an issue earlier last week. They had a technician here that day to help diagnose it and troubleshoot the issue. So they've done well by us in this county in the past few years.
Okay.
So as we move forward on this then, are we going to try to set a standard of doing a 7-year?
That would be my hope, and I believe that was my predecessor's hope.
That's what I'm after.
So that's why, like with the loader we purchased last spring, we paid for that outright because a loader's, it's used every day, but it's not, doesn't have that same amount of hours a grader does. The blademen, when they're on their machines, they're on their machines. They put those 1,500 plus hours on their machines a year. A loader can go more than 7 years, and you can push a grader more than 7 years, but the fact that it's relied on for 8+ hours a day, we have to keep those.
Yes.
It's better, in our best interest to keep them, because we'll pay less in the long run for the maintenance, the downtime, and repairs, versus trying to keep along older units that have band-aided together, basically. So that's what my predecessor's belief was, and that's what I'm trying to get us to, where we have those graders on that 7-year lease, because we'll have it budgeted for it every year, and it'll just be keeping everything together and under warranty.
Did we even put some trucks on the 7-year lease?
I believe it
Or
was a
not?
5-year. My
5 years.
predecessor bought 2 on 5-year, and the last 2 we bought outright this past fall.
Okay. Okay.
As far as the warranty goes, is that transmission main components? Is that electronics? Is it
Oh, for
pretty much everything?
the things that are down right now, the machines that
I
are,
mean, the new units,
everything.
everything, okay.
It-
Because sometimes there's that.
Unless
fine-
unless we've done something to catastrophically break it,
Okay,
or we've done something, operator error, driving it off the edge and down the bank, that's not going to be covered under warranty potentially. But if it's a fault with the machine or any of the manufacturing defect in it, basically, unless we've done something to cause it to break through not normal use, it's covered.
okay.
Okay. Gentlemen, do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the purchase of 2 2022 Caterpillar 140-15J graders from Foley Equipment for $522,377.86, including trading in the 2006 and 2010 road graders.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Commissioner.
Brendan.
Brandon.
I can ask for more graders next week too if we need more rain, because I'm happy the rain's coming. We can hopefully quit the dust down. We don't need to buy any for a while, but if it'll help, I'll do it.
Okay, now I need to go to, I'm gonna go way down here. I'm trying to find you, Mike.
Page 60, I believe.
Yeah, I got my page deal popped up here. Okay, the next agenda item is no before ARPA purchase. Mike.
Mike Leiker, Ellis County IT Director. What you have before you this evening is a proposal to purchase the KnowBe4 cybersecurity training solution. It's a subscription-based solution, cloud-based. And what that does, as you know, I come to you a lot talking about cybersecurity. I tend to be a broken record sometimes. We've spent a lot of money on cybersecurity efforts throughout the years. You have been very helpful in allowing me to do that. The one piece that is always the weak link is the users and email. There isn't a real good solution to prevent phishing emails. We still rely on the user to be diligent and able to recognize phishing scams, catfishing scams, whaling scams, and those types of things. We don't have a real effective way of training our users to recognize those things other than if they call me or call my office and we describe to them. What KnowBe4 does is it trains the users, it tests the users, and it reports on their abilities. What it'll do is there's a large library of training resources that they provide to our users, as well as they will send out mock phishing email scams and to our users randomly. And if the users click on the links or the attachments, it will tell them that this was a training exercise. You clicked on what would be potentially a phishing email scam, and then it would redirect them to a short training video or resource, usually less than 3 minutes. And they can go through, and it teaches them what components were in that email that they fell for, so to speak. And then it will also generate a report to the IT department of the click rate, the success rate, or failure rate. Our goal is to have obviously zero click rate because it only takes one. It takes one person clicking on a malicious email that could deliver a payload that would potentially cripple our entire network and all of our server resources. We all know of events that happened recently and not so recently in Hayes and in our surrounding neighborhoods, and how catastrophic that can be for them. In most cases, nobody ever really knows for sure where it comes from, but in many cases it's suspected that it was an email. So this system would help my office, IT, train our users to be aware, to be diligent, and then they don't have to read my emails every week about when I'm harping on them. So that's KnowBe4. It's probably more than you wanted to know about it, but I'm asking to purchase a 3-year subscription through SHI, the reseller for KnowBe4. The amount on that purchase is $11,587.40. Again, that's for a 3-year subscription. And I am proposing to use ARPA funds to make that purchase so that we don't have a fiscal impact on the IT budget.
And Mike, is training on this, is it in group type settings or individual settings just through their computers?
Individual settings at their desktop during the day when they're working. Again, most of those training sessions are 3 minutes or less. I believe the first session when we enroll is longer, so they can so they're trained before we start trying to catch them. So.
Do you have ways to monitor that to make sure that individuals are attending the training?
Absolutely. It gives me a report that tells me who attended what training, if they attended mandatory training, if they attended voluntary training. I get reports on all of that, so that we can make sure that they they are equipped to handle these
Sure.
situations.
Okay. Commissioner, any questions? No. Commissioner Neal, any questions?
At my place of work, we have this. Makes you think. It really does. It's a good training tool. I guess my question, is it going to be set up every quarter? And then are we going to set a deadline that they have to have it done within 30 days to?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the cycle will be, but yeah, there will be a time frame that they need to do the initial training, and then they have a time frame when they need to complete. If they fail a phishing test, they have a certain number of days or whatever, and I get those reports, and it will send reminders, hey, you haven't done this. It will send me a note that says, hey, they haven't done this. It will be set up on a regularly recurring basis.
But it is a helpful tool, because they do a video and then ask you all the questions. It's a pretty
Okay.
good quiz at the end when they're done, so
Okay.
I definitely support that.
Is there a motion for this?
I'll move that the commission approve the purchase of Know4 cybersecurity awareness solution from SHI in the amount of $11,587.47 using allocated ARP funds.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you,
Thanks, Mike.
gentlemen.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, County Administrator report. Mike?
Thank you. Mike Liker, Acting County Administrator. I do not have a report for this evening.
Okay. County Commission reports. Commissioner Neal?
Been a little bit busy. Last week, I went to the City Ascensions meeting, and we visited a little bit with what I talked with Brandon, on helping them also maybe get either a portion of their roads sealed too, and they're asking if Brandon could give them some kind of a price, and that's going to be hard, and I told them that because with the oil and all the materials. And then I also sat down with Dave Klingan, talked about stuff with Grow Hayes, had a nice conversation with him, and on the 15th of March went to the Kansas One Call and seen a lot of our county employees there, which is good to keep up good ongoing training. And then I also always wanted to do it, went to the severe weather training, and if you've never been to that, you should go. Very good training there. And then I also want to thank Brandon for getting his people out this weekend when the conditions were right. Had a lot of phone calls from people. Good job. So thanks, Brandon, and all county employees. That's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner Joe?
I don't have a report.
Okay, and I have no report. And if there's no further business, the meeting will adjourn at 6:03.